Right. So let's get right into it, Shane, because the biggest matchup in my mind going into the weekend, Ole Miss, Kentucky, showdown of undefeateds, one stands, and it's of course it's Ole Miss, Shane, 22-19 over Kentucky. Very entertaining game. Went down to the wire. And how about this Ole Miss defense, Shane? I mean, we had to hear time and time again, Will Levis, #1 overall pick. And hey, maybe I go a little too far with it, Shane, with the online, with the Twitter. I mean, I'm just putting out jokes, but it's just over the top. He's a great college quarterback. He may be the next Dan Marino. I wish him the best, Shane, but I don't know about you, but it kind of like ruins the broadcast when I got to hear 20 times what an elite NFL prospect this guy is and how there's an unnamed scout says he's going to be the #1 pick, on and on and on. And you catch it. We'll get to Lane Kiffin at the end of this, but yeah, Lane Kiffin's poking fun of it too because he knows we only put up we gave up 19 points to the #1 overall pick in the draft. I think it's motivating defenses to go up against him. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I see where you're coming from, but if that's your guy, I'm going to tout him as well. We made jokes. I think, what did they say? That's a pro throw. Like he threw. It's like, what? That was
I said that was
throw?
an NFL fumble when he coughed up the ball to lose the damn game.
Well, probably people that weren't watching that game had no idea what you were talking about, but that was what he was referring to. It's an adjective that they like to use to describe Will Levis. Will Levis is a great quarterback. Did he make some terrible mistakes during this game? Absolutely. I don't think it is because of the added pressure, but, I mean, you do wonder. But, I mean, you fast forward later in the day, we listen to Gary just loathe Bryce, I mean, it's just he's God's gift to quarterback. So it's just, I don't know, man. This is what you want your program to have is NFL talent, and especially at quarterback. I mean, they've not had that since Couch, So right. This is good. This is good for them. But can this be the last damn time we watch this game at noon, Mike? I mean, there is no reason that this game should have been played at 12 o'clock. This should have been a 7 o'clock game or 3:30 game because it was fantastic like it always is, man. It was a great game.
Well, I hate to ruin it. I mean, we'll talk about this at the tail end, but next week we've only got one showdown of ranked opponents, Shane. It's at noon, 11 Central, Tennessee LSU. So no, this is here to stay. But let's stick with Will Levis for a minute, Shane. 18-24, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did have a key fumble. He did have a safety. We got Chris Rodriguez back in action. He lived up to the billing, Shane. 19 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. But this is what we were saying, Shane. I mean, Chris Rodriguez, as great as he is, he's not playing offensive line. And Kentucky only rushed for 108 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. This ain't going to get it done. This is what we were saying time and time again. The offensive line is going to cost you in these SEC games. And it came down to, a final possession there. Kentucky did score, but there was a legitimate illegal motion. The receiver was not set at the snap. I believe that was freshman Dane Key. It's part of the reason why a lot of these coaches don't like to play freshmen in key situations. Mistakes. And then right after that, the right tackle, blown block, strip sack. That's a ball game right there. So, I mean, look at the Kentucky drive chart at the end here, Shane. Turnover on downs, fumble, ball game. And there was an opportunity. One guy we do got to shout out. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the SEC slept on this kid. I mean, he was a touted prospect, but Berrien Brown, 4-star from the Nashville area, 2 catches, 81 yards. He is, they got
special team player of the day. I mean, Kentucky had terrible special teams, but don't you put them on there?
I don't put it, no, because they lost the game, Shane. And I'll tell you why. Because he tripped up 164 kick return yards, 275 all-purpose. I mean, he's incredible. He's got to be freshman All-American. But I did want to mention that, Shane. I mean, he should have had a kick return touchdown, but he got tripped up by his teammate.
Yeah, but on like the 40-yard line.
But listen to this, Shane. Kentucky never scored again. So, I mean, that could have been the game decider right there. You know what?
Kentucky didn't lose because of him. In fact, Kentucky could have lost by more if it wasn't for him. There was plenty of opportunities that he got him in the red zone or close near to it. So
Yeah.
no, he's my special teamer, man. And just because he's electric, and I was watching the game and I was thinking, man, they got to find more ways to get him the ball, get him in space. I always think about my Cordero Patterson. They orchestrated ways to get him in those little spots. Another one was that Texas A&M guy, Kirk. It was just, he's one of those dangerous athletes. And then lo and behold, they do it, and he almost scores a touchdown again. So, okay, maybe that's the award we'll give him. Almost scored, So nobody almost scored more than he did Saturday. But the fact of the matter is, you're walking away from that game. I don't know about you, Mike, but this is my personal opinion. I'm walking away that game if I'm a Kentucky guy, I'm like, shit, this offensive line, people have been telling me for weeks, and I kept ignoring it, but this offensive line is straight garbage. And they're getting my quarterback killed. Forget if he's a pro or not. He probably would be if he had time to sit back there and go through his progressions, but he doesn't. He's in survival. It's like Survivor Island back there. Yeah. But then you got Rodriguez. There's a little hope, because I think it kind of balanced this team out. People couldn't just sit back there in the second half. Couldn't pin their ears back, because that's a guy you had to account for. So there are some good things. But Kentucky blew this game multiple times, man. There was multiple opportunities. And then you go to the other side of the ball. Ole Miss, Judkins, there should be more people talking about how great this running back is. He is absolutely phenomenal, and he is young, and you got him for a while. I mean, they're just freaking dangerous back there in the backfield. But then you look at Dart. I don't know, man. I mean, how many weeks are we in? I get it. Ole Miss is undefeated, but barely. And that guy out there with eye paint, you should come out with eye paint if you're like 50% completion and you got more interceptions and you do touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I mean, you should come out there ready to play and be a team player, but you don't deserve the centerpiece just yet, because I'll tell you what, Dart about cost that game.
Yeah. Very, very inconsistent. Shane, early in the game, he was firing. And I think that's more of a testament to Lane Kiffin studying up his Kentucky defense and saying, all right, we got A, B, and C. We're going to be able to slash these guys for some big plays. But once Kentucky's defense starts settling in, man, it was overthrows. It was dropped interceptions. It was living life on the edge, with old Jackson Dart. So they have got to get that cleaned up, because they are going to have some tough ball games upcoming. On the road, that he plays like he did on Saturday. They're going, like you said, they're going to lose some football games. But Quinshawn Judkins, you mentioned the freshman, another freshman All-American, in my opinion. 15 carries, 106 yards, a touchdown. How about Malik Heath, Shane? 6 catches, 100 yards. We said Ole Miss not really have those targets that scares Kentucky. Well, he scared the hell out of me watching him on Saturday. He was very, very productive. And how about this, Shane? Assistant Coach of the Week, Chris Partridge, Ole Miss defense. Man, again, I mean, 19 points. We know Kiffin with his troll comment there, but that's exactly what it is, man. They're making plays on fourth down to get stops. They're forcing turnovers. They're getting safeties. Imagine, Shane, Lane Kiffin program. We all think high-flying offense, and we say, okay, defense, go win us a ball game. But that's what they did in year 3 of the Lane Kiffin era. It's the defense that, as good as the offense running game is, the defense is what's winning them some of these games. You know what?
Absolutely. And he called out that fan base, and boy, they showed up. Hey, it may have been a new game, and they may have been a couple of rowdy fights in the stands, but I'll tell you what, Ole Miss was loud, and they were a factor too. So it was just all around great game. I hate that it was wasted at noon and people didn't get to see it. And I'll tell you what drove me the bonkers is this damn baseball batter. What is his name?
Judge.
Yeah. Because they keep putting it in, and I was watching it, and I had to go. I was out of beer, so we were going to go get some beer, and I'm driving. I wasn't drinking at the time because it was a noon game, thank God. But I'm driving down, and I'm playing it on my phone, and then all of a sudden the Judge thing comes in, and I'm like, I can't hear it. I'm going off audio. I can't watch it and drive. And then I'm like, this guy, What are we doing, ESPN? If I wanted to watch the damn Yankees game, I'd be on the Yankees game. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this channel does not exist. Well, maybe if you're a Sling or Dish owner, but, but other than that, it should be there. And I don't understand why they're force-feeding the SEC a baseball game in New York. Nobody cares. If they did, they'd be, like I said, they'd be watching the thing. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I later found out I could watch it on the SEC network and don't get interrupted by that, but that should not be a thing, Mike.
No, this is
that's
like 2 weeks in a row.
You always say, what grinds my gears? That's what grinds my gears right there.
I literally didn't even know it was baseball season till last week when they did this garbage. Then, you know what?
Oh, yeah, and they kept talking about like, well, he's probably going to strike out again. Well, there's his parents. And I'm just like, man, wait, I'm literally... I'm trying to watch or listen to the Kentucky game, but anyway.
And Chris has done a great job and, rallied the guys, and we've been very multiple at what we've played. And, that's a top 10 team without their running back. So he wasn't playing before, and y'all had him ranked in the top 10. So with him, obviously they're even better. So, that's a big time, defensive day, especially at the end.
Coach, what does it mean for you and the staff to see this group win this game the way that they did? That term, finding a way to win. When you see a team perform like that, what do you think that does for the team going forward and just seeing their performance today?
Yeah, I think, the game obviously could have went easier if we score there and, go up 2 scores when we're down there and, we go for it, which, that's analytics. I'm sure a lot of people didn't like that, but 6 points doesn't do you a whole lot of good comparable, to leaving a team down there or going up by 10. So, to see that would have been a lot easier. So I would have liked that better. But when these happen like this, it brings your team together and people got to rise up and they got to make plays. And it was cool because the defense made a play that some people say, okay, well, we won the game. Well, no, there's still 2.5 minutes. And they did it again, which was huge. And,
Coach.
A really good quarterback. I mean, their offensive coordinator said he's the first pick of the draft. So, that's pretty good defense to hold him 19 points with the first pick of the draft.
Mark, obviously the two played almost from Will. How do you assess how Will played and also how you guys played?
Yeah, I think, again, I think same thing I've been saying. I thought at times he played exceptionally well. Protection was pretty good. With this structure, there were times he was maybe holding the ball a little bit, and, you'll watch tape and it'll be easy once you watch the tape to say, hey, you could have went with the ball here, now, or there. But, for him, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot going on. He's playing very good football. If we get our guys set, he throws a dime and wins the game, and everybody's saying, wow, pretty impressive, to lead us back on 2 drives late in the game there, and so not sure on the very last fumble, what happened on the protection there.
Let's get back in it before you go